Hey guys, so now we're going to discuss the ambiguous case of the law of sines. Now you'll notice that I have several triangles drawn for you. So when we do the ambiguous case, you are given one angle, just one, okay? You are given its opposite side, okay? And then you're given another side, okay? But the key is you're only given one angle, okay? So, first question you must ask yourself is that angle acute or obtuse? Okay, because that's going to determine what kind of situation that you're dealing with. Okay, so if the angle is acute, you need to find the height of your triangle. Okay, and the height of your triangle is given by the formula h equals b times sine of a. Okay, so the adjacent side of your given angle times the sine of that angle. Okay. Then, depending on the relationship between the given sides and the height, it's going to determine what situation you have. So, our first one, okay, call this number one, is we find our h and our a, our opposite side, is less than the height. So that tells us we have no triangle possible. So we can just look at it and say, oh, our height is less than the opposite side, so we're done, no triangle. Okay, if A is equal to H, then we will have one triangle possible, and it turns out that that triangle will probably be right. Okay, now, if A is greater than B, we're actually going to go out of order here. Okay, greater than or equal to B, we will have one triangle possible. Okay, now this is the weird one. This is the fourth situation. Okay, so if I find my height, and my height is less than A, and A is again less than B, then I can have two triangles possible. So we really have to know what we're looking at. We really have to think about what we're looking at. Now, the situations get a little easier once A is obtuse. Remember, obtuse means greater than 90. When the given angle is obtuse, you only have two situations you can have. You can have no triangle, or you can have one triangle. Makes it kind of nice. Okay, so we're going to try a couple of examples just to kind of see what we're going at. Okay, now for your brain to make sense of these problems and what's going on, you might want to draw kind of just a general triangle just so you know the relationships between the sides and the angles, because they don't have to tell you angle A and side A. They can tell you angle B and side B, and then use side C. So they can mess with your head in terms of the sides. Okay, so here's our first example. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I want you to notice that you're given angle A and side A, and then you're given side B. So the first thing I ask is A acute or obtuse? And the answer, of course, would be acute. It's less than 90. Okay, second thing I do is I'm going to find H. So I know that H is equal to the non-opposite side, which is B, sine of 42. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare A, B, and H. Okay, so I look at my situations, remembering that A is 22 and B is 12. So B is 12, so B is less than A. Hey, look, this one. So that tells me I have one triangle. Okay. Now here, take a look at this. This situation where you have two triangles says that B is greater than A, but it's not. It's less than. Okay. So that one, I didn't really even have to find H, but it was a good idea to, because again, didn't know what I had to compare. All right. So conclusion, one triangle possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and find that triangle. So again, using law of sines. For this one, you are going to have to use the sine inverse. Okay, so I have 22 sine B, 12 sine 42. So sine of B is equal to 12 sine 42 divided by 22. So if I use my calculator, I get 0.36498. Okay. Using sine inverse, making sure your calculator is in degree mode. I get 21.4 degrees. Okay, so now if I know one angle is 42 and another angle is 21.4, then I can find my third angle. So let's go over here. Okay, again, you're going to subtract from 180. Remember, it doesn't matter what type of triangle you have. All angles will add up to 180. So we have 116.6 degrees. Now, since we have that angle, we can find the third side. Now remember, you cannot use Pythagoras. I know you want to, but you can't. Okay. So we're going to set up our law of sines proportion. And now we're going to find side C. Okay. So we're going to cross multiply. Now with this one, we don't have to use sine inverse because we're not finding an angle, we're finding a side. Okay, so this is really challenging because you do have to keep track. Am I looking for a side? Am I looking for an angle? How many triangles do I have? So the law of sines is kind of, I mean, it looks like a simple thing. I mean, it's just a proportion. But it can get a little hairy, a little scary. Okay, I get 29.4 for my side. So 116.6 and 29.4. Okay, so good check. Small angle is paired with a small side. medium angle paired with the medium side, large angle paired with the large side. Okay, so that's a good way to check. Okay, so now we're going to do another problem, okay, and see where that leads us. I apologize for the length of this video. It could be kind of long. Okay, so on this one, okay, A is 12. Angle A is 20.5. Side B is 31. I don't know angle B. I don't know side C. And I don't know angle C. Okay, so A is acute. Okay, looks like B is greater than A. Okay, so we have to find H. So I'm going to find H. And I get 10.85. Actually 10.86. Okay, now, so it looks like H is smaller than A, and it's also smaller than B. So if I refer back to my chart, which is up here, it looks like I have my two triangle situation. Okay, here we go. So let's find angle B. Now angle B is going to tell us we're going to figure out how to find our two triangles in there. So if we have two triangles, my answer will look like this. So I'll have this. Okay, so here we go. Again, you are looking for angles, so you are going to have to use your sine inverse. Okay, cross multiply. Okay, get out my calculator. Oops. Okay, use the sine inverse. Oops. Okay, I get 64.8 degrees. Okay, so what you're going to do to find the second triangle okay, is you are going to subtract the angle that you found from 180. So your second possible triangle is 115.2. Now notice, I want you to check something out. So you know that triangles add up to 180. So just to be sure that everything's going to be okay, if you just quickly say 24.5 plus 64.8, that gives you 85.3. You still have enough degrees left over to make that 180. Same thing with the 20.5 plus the 115.2. You have 135.7, which means you still have the degrees left to get you that second triangle. Okay, so let's really quick finish up with C. Okay. So C for the first triangle will be 180 minus 64.8, 20.5. So let's see what that is. Okay, so for the first triangle that you find, it's 94.7. Okay, for the second triangle, oops, okay, so 44.3. Okay, so now I can use my law of sines again to find my two C's, one for my first triangle, one for my second. Oops. Okay, oops. So 12. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use A's. And I use the same setup. Just notice that the angles that you use change. So cross multiply and let your calculator do the arithmetic for you. Okay. So for this one, I will get C. Okay, so for the first triangle, 35 or 34.15 or 34.2. And then 31. For the second triangle, okay, we get 23.93. Oops. Or 23 point. Okay, and again, remember, small side goes with small angle, medium side goes with medium angle, large side goes with large angle. Okay, so lopsides, even though it looks kind of like a simple, nice little formula, can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Okay, all right, thank you.